Do you have, Tessa, a bucket list? Legitimate bucket list. I know everyone kind of throws that out there. Maybe when something comes up, you're like, oh, man, that's a bucket list item.
Not written down, so not legitimate, no.
Right. Is there something that being put on the spot bucket list?
No. Everyone says this. I want to write a book. But when my ass is going to actually sit down and get to start writing something.
Never going to happen.
Exactly.
You sit down and write a book?
Exactly. I fight with my podcast over how to start it 20 million times.
Yeah.
Okay? Which it should drop tonight. I mean, it should.
It should drop tonight. Why am I wrong when I think bucket list? I think of a daring activity.
Because bucket list is like, it does allude to this is a once-in-a-lifetime adrenaline rush type thing.
And that's not where most people think. I am wrong in thinking, I'm not a hero, but I've jumped out of an airplane. It was a bucket list item for me. I always wanted to jump out of an airplane. I didn't think that I would like it. I wanted the pictures. I wanted to brag to everybody that I jumped out of a plane. I always thought it was cool when people said they jumped out of a plane.
Right.
I instantly kind of thought that person was cool, and I wanted that. I wanted that reaction. I wanted to, carry the pictures. Hey, look at, here's me jumping out of a plane. Then I actually kind of enjoyed it, and I did it again, and then the third time it got canceled, and I never went back to do it. But when people talk about bucket lists, daring activity is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5, 6 on the list, okay? Now, some of these are pretty vague. And for me, bucket list has always been very specific things. I always wanted to go to a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. That's a bucket list.
Right.
To attend a Super Bowl, to me, was a bucket list item that I actually said out loud before. And I've achieved that.
Right.
So, of course, everybody wants to go to something that their favorite team is involved in. I do want to go to a Stanley Cup. I'm saving that for the Sabres. I really am. If the opportunity comes along and I can go to a Stanley Cup game, I will. That one I'm saving. Okay? It may never happen, and I may have to just go to a Stanley Cup. If you live in this city, you've had the opportunity to go to a home World Series game.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bucket list kind of thing,
we're pretty spoiled
to be
concerning that.
To be at a World Series. So those are the things that I think of as far as bucket list.
Ooh, I want to ski down a Black Diamond course. That's a bucket list of mine. Because I'm real greens and blues right now. But bucket list, like go be with like the badasses up there.
And that's my question. Are you doing anything to get to that level of becoming a Black Diamond?
I bought a new ski suit. And
there you go. There's a chick. Oh, yeah, I got some new boots.
And
I bought a scarf. I'm almost there.
I usually only go skiing once a year. I'm trying to go 3 times before the season's over.
Right.
So that's like how I work towards it. It's not going to happen,
but quickly. But that should allow you to improve.
100%.
If you go skiing once a year, whatever level you're at, you're probably going to maintain.
You just stay there.
You're going to probably maintain that level for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If you can just get down the hill without killing yourself, you're probably not going to get a lot better going once a year.
Right. You have to go get reps.
The number one thing, and there's 2 things that I thought were interesting. The average person, the number one thing they say for a bucket list is some sort of a travel destination. And that does make sense to me.
Okay.
If you have some place on the map, traveling is the best. If you have the person to do it with and you go out and travel, I know a lot of these things come crashing down to an end when you have a kid, and that's why I did some traveling before I had a kid, and it's just not as easy. You don't think of dragging your kid around Italy, until they're older maybe. Travel is the number one thing. Number 2 is desire to accomplish some sort of a personal goal, which is weird because it's a wide open thing. And
it's like a vision board.
And a lot of financial stability is being talked about as a bucket list. So owning a home.
Yeah.
Owning a home. It's a bucket list for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Something financial, a financial hurdle. Now, the average person, if you have multiple things on that bucket list, we're only giving ourselves to the age of 47 to do everything.
Well, you weren't even grown most of that. Well, not most of that time, but by the time you get smart enough to actually execute a plan, that's not giving you very much leeway.
Apparently, you guys haven't traveled much because when you travel, there's how you think it's going to be and there's how it is.
Right.
There's old people everywhere. I don't care where you're going, okay? Maybe not so much Cancun, but where you travel, if you go on a cruise, you're going to be blown away how many old people are on that cruise. Unless you're on some swinging single metalhead cruise, there's old people everywhere you travel.
Yeah, because they have the money to do it.
That's when you travel.
Right.
When you're old.
Right.
selling yourself short by saying you got to finish your bucket list at 47, I don't think you're prepared for that. I think you're prepared for disappointment if you want to close out your bucket list by 47.
Yeah, give yourself more time.
You definitely need more time. So travel was number 1. Daring activities was number 5 or 6. So it's not so much jumping out of a plane and all of that stuff. Everyone says they need more time to check off things on their bucket list. But give yourself more time, man. 47, I get it. We're all impatient. But
yes,
this really is screaming people's impatience.
But think about all the people that just performed at the Super Bowl halftime show. They were all over, most of them were over 47. Don't you think it was a bucket list for them as musicians, as artists,
probably,
to perform at the Super Bowl? And they probably envisioned it when they were like younger, up and coming. But look, they just did it, and they're older than 47.
But it's across the board. Traveling, guys. I know people that aren't interested in it. It kind of blows me away a little bit that when people aren't interested in seeing how other places operate.
I would love to travel more.
It kind of blows my mind. All right, give yourself more time if you're trying to finish off your bucket list.